Hey friends, Michael here, author of A Warrior's Mindset and founder of Next Wave Warrior. Today we are here to talk about how to be calm. 3 actions to activate your calm self. I know it exists in you, it exists within all of us. However, might not just be quite as connected to that. And what better time to focus in on this topic than now, right? This moment of intense hostility, intense of uncertainty, just a bunch of things that could have you feeling the opposite of calm. So what are we going to talk about today? 3 actions to activate your calm self. Under here are our 3 actions that I'm going to show you. I'll lift the pages to these, and these are my little girl's drawing, so incorporate them into the video. But under each of them, we have our 3 actions to help you really activate your calm self. And I think when we get started in this conversation, we have to define what is calm. So I like to think of calm in its 2 forms, right? Calm as a noun. As a noun, you know, the way that it's expressed, I like this definition, which basically says that a period or condition of freedom from storms, high winds, or rough activity. So imagine that a period
free from
storms. So just try to imagine what calm means to you. You know, when I say the word calm, what images does that bring up? So most people think of, or what other things help you just remain a relaxed, calm state? Types of things that you can think about that help you look into this. But for our definition, I want you to look at this definition. It says a period. So it's a period of time, a moment of time, free from storms, free from rough activity, free from the high winds of life, right? And despite when these high winds and this rough activity is going on, you know, the storm is going on, you can remain centered and calm, right? That's just what I picture inside my mind to help you really understand this. Is within the storm, within the high winds, the rough activity of life going on, which is now, how are you at being able to center in on yourself, to exert personal control over your emotions, over your feelings, to have that calmness? And I like this other definition that says calm, the absence of nervousness, anger, and other strong emotions. The absence of this. So the absence. Imagine just trying to be absent of those strong emotions for a moment. For this moment, right here, right now, while you're watching this video, I want you to just press pause, and I just want you to imagine that you could empty out all emotions out of your body for just a period of time. Maybe that's 1 second, maybe that's 5 seconds, maybe that's 30 seconds, but just to imagine everything just fall, you know, letting gravity take all emotions and just pulling them throughout your body, all the way down through your body to the tips of your toes, and just falling into the ground, melting, just literally melting out of your body. To be absent of any of these strong emotions. And just right when you do that, the ultimate feeling you can get is just nothingness, right? And that's what really absence is. That's the period of time that you can create within yourself, which is going to exert this stillness, absence of thought, absence of this emotion in you. And just imagine everything trickling down through your body, melting through you, and it's just going to fall into the ground. And all you're left with is just you, your soul, your body, your breath, and that's it. So I really like that noun that says the absence of all these strong emotions, nervousness, anger, but to be absent of them. Definition number 3. Still or nearly still without hurried movement or noise. So again, this is a really good one. Still or nearly still. And then without hurried movement. Still or nearly still. Still. Right now, if you can practice this sense of still, right? Still means just, again, right? Those movements where you can just practice moments of being still. And I guarantee you, most people will not do this. They cannot get themselves into a pattern of being still, because most people are thinking, well, I have to do this. I can't waste this moment of time. I have to attend to this. I have to attend to this. Again, in our last week, we covered how to survive with family, which is all about boundary setting. If you haven't caught that video, go check it out, because it's all about boundaries. And on our Next Wave Warrior Facebook page, there's multiple trainings on boundaries. But how do you protect this time of being still, to exert this stillness? Most high performers actually utilize stillness as a part of a daily practice. Because, let's look at some science for a moment. So when we're looking at high emotions, we're looking at this little graph. And if this little graph represents, a peak of high emotion, a peak of anxiety, a peak of anger, most people in their bodies, when they're feeling these emotions, they're at a peak state. And it's, biologically, evolutionarily speaking, we've come from a period where having this high, intense state of alertness and activity and, just this alertness helped us survive as, human species. And so having intense fear or, different things causes us to, have that fight or flight response. And most of the times we used it to save our lives. However, in most instances throughout our day, we are not in those kinds of situations where it requires us to fight or flight. But we find ourselves in those peak states off of the little things, right? Someone being disruptive to you, someone interrupting you, someone disrespecting you. Some situation that caused you to mess up your entire day. Right now, something that can be very small, is magnified, and most people, who deal with anxiety or these different things of nervousness, anger, they have pretty much maintained their body living at this peak state. And when you live at that peak state, imagine what types of biological, physiological responses are happening in your body. Intense amounts of adrenaline, intense amounts of epinephrine, norepinephrine, different chemicals that are getting you to be in that excited state all the time. And if you're at this all the time, your body's going to start breaking down. Your immune system's going to start weakening, because we're not meant to live at those high states. What it's called, if we look in a electroencephalograph, which measures our brain activity, we have different wave patterns. At the high, when we're alert and awake, like right now, is what we call beta state. There's a high beta and there's a low beta. High beta represents those people who are just in this heightened sense of activity, awareness, alertness, and a high, strong emotion. However, if they never come back down to that feeling of calm, which is where we want to be most of our time, most of our life, then we're interrupting our body's natural system to really perform at its best. So being able to practice and to teach and to train and to condition yourself to go from high beta to low beta is of absolute importance. And so when you can understand the physiological toll on your body when you stay in these heightened peak states of strong emotions, of arousal, we have to come back down. And this is what this is all about, how to be calm, how to activate those parts of yourself that, go back into the state of being calm, and how to practice it regularly so that you have a sense of just that peace, that happiness, that well-being, that wellness within you, right? Because it's not going to come on the conditions of life happening outside of you. It's going to come in you, from you, right? When something new enters our life, it's not the types of, when life happens, the excitement of life, it's when something new comes into our life, or the way that I like to say it is when something new comes out of us, right? And so practicing that with what we have control over is practicing the newness that can come out of us, because life conditions begin to change after that. Yes, it's so good when the surprises from the outside world come in and reward us or give us good things. However, if we live our life dependent on those outside circumstances, what control do we have over our emotions? Right? So exerting the emotion within yourself to have control is really what it's about. So version number 4 of this calm definition says a state of peace or stillness. A state. So remember, a state can be this moment-to-moment experience of life. A state is really, what state are you in right now? If you're watching this movie, watching this video, you're probably in a pretty calm, relaxed state. Somebody screams at your ear right now, that probably might change your state, or it might not. But your state is a state of peace when you're in the calm state. It's a state that you can teach and condition and train yourself to be in more and more and more. Because the state of calmness is really one who just have this bigger picture, grander vision of, things are going to be okay. We're gonna get through this. Again, we talked about that belief structure, right? A belief structure, what's the belief structure that most people who remain calm in very intense situations, what belief structure do they adopt? And how can I begin to incorporate some of their framework, their psychology of how they react in intense situations to then have control? Because, right, when you're in a crisis event, do you want to be near someone who is, oh my goodness, did you hear about this happening? Did you hear about that happening? Man, can't you believe that this stuff is going on? It's so crazy. What are we gonna do? How is it going to affect our people? Like what's going to happen? What's going to happen with this person and that person? And oh my goodness, right? You need a break from that sometimes. And too much of that is going to, again, put you at that peak state, not going to do very well for your body, and is going to leave you going to bed frustrated, overwhelmed, agitated, anxious, and good luck sleeping, because those are the types of things that keep you awake. So having calmness, who would you rather be with? A person who's saying, hey, we're going to get through this. Moments of time in our life have happened when uncertain events have taken place. And what happened? We got through it. We made it through those tough situations despite not being able to see through all the fuzz and the fog and not being able to see that next step, but because we exerted hope, faith, reassurance that we can get through it. We're going to get through it. Now that is the type of person you might want to be near, right? That's the type of person who's going to be reaffirming that, hey, you're magnifying the situation right now. You're magnifying the events that are going on right now. Find some calmness. Be still. Go inside yourself. Take some breaths. Focus on the moment that we have right now. What are 3 things that you can be grateful for that are happening right now in this moment? Because you're all caught up in your head. You're all caught up about the future and all these different things happening around. You're missing out on the presence of right now, this moment. So look, just understand that when we're thinking about how we want to be in this situation, you're going to have the heightened person or the very calm person. And I guarantee the very calm person is going to be a lot more clearer in their thinking. They'll make better decisions. They're just going to be a better energy to be around for your personal well-being. So, exerting this calm state. When we looked at the noun, that's what it all encompasses. A period free from storms, the absence of strong emotions, still or nearly still, right? Holding that stance and being prideful in that stillness. And then that state of without hurried movement, just appreciation for being in this moment, of being the ability to just be alive again. Where are you at? So now we'll get on to the verb form of this. The verb form of calm. Now this is where our actions come in, because verb means the action of doing something, to actually do something. So the verb of calm would be to make someone or yourself still and quiet, soothe, right? How do we do that? How do we go about taking the actions to actually soothe ourselves? How do we go about those actions? So, bam, bam, bam. Got 3 of them for you. 3 little actions to activate your calm self. So let's look at number 1. I love her. She's really good at her drawings, and they're getting better and better and better. So she loves to draw. So let's look at number 1. Track and tally your calm states. What do I mean by this? So if you're a person watching this right now, you're looking for solutions on how to be calm. Solution number 1 is, do you know when you're calm? Do you know when you're anxious? Do you know when you're heightened? Do you know when you're in these heightened states of strong emotion? Do you know? Are you actively aware of it? Because without awareness of where we're at, we have no direction on where to start when we want to be calm. The final destination is to be calm and to have that feeling that, man, I came out of this so good because I changed in the middle of it. I began to understand where I was in my emotional experiences. And because I became more aware of my emotional experiences, because I tracked it, because I began to measure it, I began to see the progress. And because I made progress, now I'm at a totally better state right now. And I practice and condition this new state of being to just have me more clear in my thinking, better experiences with those I love, and just more proud of who I've become in this process. Right? If that's the ultimate goal, we have to know where we're starting. We have to know where we're beginning, right? And that begins with tracking and tallying your calm state. So what do I mean by this? What does this look like? This means that on a day of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to carry around a little sheet with me, a little worksheet or a little journal, my personal journal, right? Your own personal journal. And you're going to have these little check marks for how many times did I practice calmness. Maybe this is where, for you, the ambitious ones who want to take that step forward, maybe you say, you know what, I'm going to block off a time in my day to be still, to be calm. And I'm just going to block out 5 minutes that no matter what, I do it every single day. And I'm going to count that. 5 minutes. Okay, so maybe you want to break them into 5-minute chunks and say, you know what, at least 3 times during the day, I'm going to make these movements. So 1, 2, 3. Wow, 3 movements that you have made. My daughter is knocking on the door right now, but we'll keep going. And we continue on with these movements, and you begin to track yourself. These moments of feeling calm will begin to increase. Sarai, Dad's recording.
I want to come in and cut it.
You can't come in yet till I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you. So these moments of tracking your calmness are going to help you, because you are going to become really aware of where you're at. And maybe you begin to track some of your strong emotions of anger, intense anxiety, fearfulness, and you begin to see, man, how many times am I feeling that throughout the day? That's, these situations that just keep, what is my balance compared to, am I high emotions, intense, or am I more calm emotions? It's going to help you figure out where you're at. So this is a simple little tracking chart just to say, here's calm over here, here's heightened emotions over here. Where do I stand? And again, self-assessing yourself, self-monitoring yourself, that's going to give you the best clarity to find out where you're at and bring you awareness to your patterns that you're experiencing today. And that's going to help move you along towards progress. Okay, let's look at Number two action to activate your calm self. This is a simple one, right? Breathe. But I promise you, it is, how many people do not do this, do not become intentional of their breathing. They just take for granted this amazing ability to be able to bring in air and exhale out air, and to bring oxygen into your body. Breathe, right? Breathe into your body to oxygenate your bloodstream, to really take in that air fully. And most people who are just shallow breathers, breathing up from their chest, shallow breathing all day, where the practice of actually breathing from your abdomen, your diaphragm, from your belly, bringing it in, bringing it out, and taking in what those full breaths are, that's a practice. But breathing, so in feeling calm, most people will say, well, you know what, I'm calm in my mind, but my body's just so anxious and, just so tense still. Like I'm trying to say, be calm, but I can feel it in my body. And so we have a disconnect between the mind and body. However, this is the connector between your mind and your body. This is what synchronizes your mind and your body through your thinking and through your body movement, which is to breathe. And so a breath, a new breath in and an exhale out, speaks to your ability to bring your attention, your intention inward. And we like to do this little exercise, which is called 4-7-8 technique. 4-7-8 technique, simple little technique that you can do. Just to incorporate 5 of these into your daily practice, which is, right, so the 4-7-8 technique means 4 counts of your inhale. Now a hold of 7 counts. And then an exhale of 8 counts. Now repeat that 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, right? The more that you can create this and find the joy in it, find the effectiveness of being able to go through this process, the more you are going to be inclined to do it again. Because, I mean, right, we're all about, we want results, right? We want results. However, learning is the first part, but second part is implementation and activation of that result or of that learning. So we're going to implement this strategy by 4-7-8 technique. 4 breaths in, hold for 7, 8 count out, right? 4 counts in, hold for 7, 8 count out. And so that simple technique is aligning the attention, the intention of your mind. It's bringing focus back to your breath, because you can't do this just, as a habit and then try to multitask thinking about or doing something else. You want to be fully present with your mind and your attention in on your breath, in on the counting, and then breathing out. And as a bonus, you can add little affirmations, when you're breathing in. So maybe as you get a little bit better at it, you can bring in I am calm, I am still. I am calm, I am still. Right, little words to help you go through the process of it. But affirmations are just a little way to help boost that intentional thinking, right? That intentional way of how you're looking to be. So that's number 2, which is breathing. Very powerful. Looking at breathing from your stomach, and as you blow it out, you utilize the whole diaphragm of your stomach. So sitting down in a chair and simply going through this is going to create an incredible effect inside yourself. And I mean, it's almost instantly that you can create that calm state. And what are we going to do to make sure that that calm state exists more throughout our day? This comes to number 3. Change your focus. Change your focus. So your attention, I don't know if you know this, but your attention is very limited. If you ever try doing multiple things at multiple things at a time, the quality of your work usually diminishes, because we can attend to different things, but not with the full quality if we're to attend to just one thing. So your attention remains very small, and if you're in this state right here, focused on, oh my goodness, I can't believe, that happened, and is it going to affect my family? Someone so near has got this, disease, and now it's, it's so near to us, and now I can't let my kids go this way or that way, and I need to be care of my family and who they're talking to, and right, all this heightened emotion, staying up here. Now, if you're to change your focus, and at that moment somebody walks in and says, oh my goodness, you guys would not believe that, but our family was awarded $10,000 just now from this lottery experience, and oh my goodness, we got $10,000. I guarantee you, your focus of being so nervous and angry and anxious will automatically within a moment switch to that of, what, are you serious? I can't. Your attention, you've seen this happen in your life multiple times, and so that your attention can shift instantly. And because that is possible, you can learn how to control this and to condition it into your mind. Because I guarantee you, if you're staying up here and you find yourself, why am I so anxious over this? Why am I so fearful over this? Why can I not just let it go? It's because you've built up over time. You've conditioned your body with multiple repeated experiences, multiple patterns of thinking to stay right here. And so, you know, and I like to throw in this term, but most of us are running on a unconscious program. I mean, we don't even think about it. You know, those thoughts of being fearful, those thoughts of being suspicious, those thoughts of being wary, anxious, depressed. I mean, the only reason why that exists in our bodies is because we've conditioned it. We work that muscle so much to the point where that muscle just fires off as a neural connection in our brain. A synapse that has been revisited so many times that just fires. And we don't even think about it until we get in that moment, and then we ask ourselves, why do I keep feeling like this? Why can't I change it? Why can't I not feel something else? It's because, you know, unconsciously we're running programs that are just in the background of our mind, but who, you know, we've conditioned them so much to the point that they just run unconsciously. So how do you stop that, right? About changing your focus, becoming aware of where you're at, trying out new things with repetition and repeating them, and then now you weaken those old patterns, and then now you're strengthening new patterns, right? And so changing your focus is powerful in being able to take your learning, your life, your attention just to a new level. So I mean, we can do this in multiple ways. I mean, just think about music. You know, those songs that you have in your back pocket that can bring out this instant happiness within you. Just an old song has the power to do that, right? It shows how we can change our focus. And our, you know, once we're able to be more intentional with this, with changing our focus, we then have the ability to be able to have more control, right? And at the end of the day, is that what we want? To have more control over ourselves? And so looking within yourself, looking around yourself and saying, despite what's going on, how can I be more calm in this situation? So again, this is another episode of Warrior Living TV, helping warriors grow beyond their circumstances. I want to help you grow beyond your circumstances and be the best version of you. And so thank you for watching. Please share, and please share any comments that you might have under the video, and I look forward to serving you again